What's up, everyone? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, I got a really cool story I want to talk to you guys about that got initiated months and months and months ago. We received a DM from a high school teacher out in Wellsville, Kansas. His name is Rip Harrison. He hit us up just asking us some questions. He has a art class that he wanted to get into the lovely realm of screen printing.
He reached out to Jonathan. Him and Jonathan were doing some troubleshooting over the phone. Figured out some of his issues with burning screens and exposure times and stuff like that.
He actually hit us up again saying, hey, there's basically an art contest that happens every year amongst all these different schools.
Our league schools come together and we have a art competition where the students get to bring pieces of work to the show, as well as participate as on-site competitions. This year we were fortunate enough to get to host. We, along with having the on-site competition, did have the pleasure of having the Golden Press guys come and do a presentation on how to do screen printing. They helped let the kids do a hands-on activity, pull their own shirts. They got to see the process that goes along with making the work, and I feel it made for a really strong day. Got people excited about art, helped build the programs, and have more kids come to next year, hopefully, and also by giving them more opportunities, hope that we can build the league art competition every year into something a little bit better than it was the year before.
So this competition happens every year, and it's between several different schools where all the students in the art programs will compete in different challenges. They can also bring their own art that they've been working on for the competition, whether that's painting, all kinds of different drawing types, photography. There was sculpting, even saw some knitting and things like that. There was lots of like 3D stuff. There was tons of options for people to make and create and show off their skills and the things that they could accomplish.
Golden Press made the trip out there to encourage them and to let them know that you can do this as a career, that art and creative realm doesn't have to stop soon as you graduate, but you can actually do it and have fun and make a living out of it.
After spending the day with Rip, we kind of found out pretty quickly that he's the kind of teacher that the students wanted to be around. They wanted to be in his classroom. They wanted to be, involved in the things that he was creating and doing there at the school. He seems like one of the guys that's doing it right.
You can take a lot of things from what Harrison said. He's a very good teacher. I'm gonna take a lot of skills that he's taught me, like just the simple things. Him like telling you should do this instead of this just changes a lot, and it makes you look a lot better and it makes you do a lot better.
This room is just like a very inviting and safe place for me, and Harrison and I get along really well and we have a good relationship. I've been drawing for as long as I can remember, but like the first art class I took was in 7th or 8th grade, and I've been in here ever since.
We all have that teacher that like made a lasting impression on us. I can guarantee you that there's a lot of those students in that room that he's made a huge impact on their life. So that was just really cool to see a teacher that was truly passionate about what they're doing, excited to be there, excited to help those kids get to the next step, excited to see what was going to happen every day. We need more of that in our schools, that's for sure.
So let's talk about this competition. Myself and Jared, as we were walking around all these different paintings and displays, all the really cool things that these kids' minds made up in their head, that they're like, I want to design this. This is what's going on in my life. This is how I'm able to portray how I'm feeling. It was insane, some of these pieces. You could tell that they had a lot of ownership in their pieces and a lot of pride. It was pretty cool that we were asked to come out to demonstrate and be there to inspire these students. We were actually inspired. We were inspired that kids still want to do this creative realm. When you just think, in school and that you're like, oh, I want to be a painter when I grow up. It's not always the route that many parents want their kids to go down. However, being at this event and seeing the type of talent that was there really inspired us that, this next generation, they're gonna have the ability to to do these things outside of just fun activities, that they can actually create a career out of doing what they love.
Something we're seeing across our nation that I think is a really big problem is a lot of the funding for the creative fields, whether that's art classes, theater programs, band programs, things like that they're being cut. The funding's being stripped away. Teachers are being let go. They're not going after new teachers to fill those positions. I have a mom who's a teacher, and she tells me kind of some of the stories that, we're seeing this happen all over the place. And I think it's a really big problem. You look back all the way to the ancient times of our humanity, and we see that there's always been a few groups of people. There's always been warriors, there's always been builders, there's always been scholars, and there's always been artists. I don't know what the future looks like without creative people, without art. The ramifications of that, of removing that from one of our fundamental educational systems, I think it's a dangerous thread to pull. And I think we should really take a look at what's going on in the educational system. It seems like a really big, daunting thing. How am I going to affect that change? But I think it starts within our local communities. When we're making videos, when we're putting out, creative content for others to see, the goal is to be an inspiration. And I think it's important to remember to not just put those things on the internet, but to also look at our local communities and see how can we help out there? How can we affect change within our local school systems? Maybe we can go and vote, at some school board stuff and say, hey, bring back the freaking art programs. I think there's some things to look at there.
With our school, we're fortunate enough we haven't faced the problem that a lot of other school districts in the country and even around the state have, where they're losing funding for the programs, or the enrollment goes down, so schools are cutting the programs. We're fortunate enough that we have excellent support, but one way that we're trying to fight against other schools losing the programs, or even just to make sure that we don't have that problem, is days like today, where we have kids from other schools, community members coming in, we have professionals coming in, sharing their craft, helping judge the show, just bring awareness to the cool things that we can do. Art is important because it helps with creative problem solving, and this is the best room to do that in. And if we can show that process is important, hopefully that'll help other schools around not lose their funding, lose their art rooms, or even just get cut down to the art on the cart where the kids get 20 minutes. It's better to have a huge environment where they can come and feel free to create. Like, there's students who they may not play a sport or not be a part of other group. This is their one time where they can actually shine on what they can do, show their abilities to their peers. And if schools are losing that opportunity, those poor kids, they really have nothing to do. I hope that this is a classroom where kids, might be the reason they come to school every day.
Our job here is to create cool art every day, whether that be in photos, prints, videos, music, any of the ways that we create things around here. Doing an event like this kind of takes you back to the roots of it all. You remember your first time learning these things, and I think it's easy to get caught in the day-to-day, the steps of it, the monotony, and kind of makes you forget, how blessed we are to be able to do this as a job.
I think it's important that they know that once they graduate, that's not when art stops or creativity stops. Like, they can find livelihood, support their family, start a business in creative fields. Golden Press is an example. They took creativity and they've used their skills and knowledge to make something awesome. And I'm hoping that kids, by seeing that or being in my class or going on field trips or the involvement that other art teachers have, they can see, like, I can take what I enjoy, things that I have fun doing, and I can make a livelihood out of that. I mean, if you find a job that uses creativity that you like, you don't have to go to work, you get to go to work. And I hope that they can see that in these kind of competitions and field trips, and once they leave here still enjoy the freedom that comes with being able to create.
Art doesn't stop when you graduate, and that's definitely something that I have carried with me even after I graduated. I graduated high school in 2020, so that was COVID year, and especially in a time when we were really isolated and didn't have a lot of connection, art really helped out, and that's when I started my photography business. And so I have kept stuff that he has taught me, things that I've learned throughout this class, into making a career out of it and making money off of it. I think people find art in everything, and I think that's amazing to show here with what you guys do, and coming and teaching a seminar, talking to kids about there's so many different avenues that you can take that doesn't have to be traditional by any means. Just kind of do what you love and let it consume you.
Being out there, I was able to talk with all the kids about my beginning and my start to the screen printing industry in the world of creatives, and it really brought me back down memory lane of looking at these past 8 years and just being very humbled and very grateful that I've been able to do this for 8 years. And man, it's been an awesome ride. It's also brought me to the point of just being extremely thankful for my friends, companies that we've worked with that have really helped us get to where we're at. And you know, talking with these kids and being in front of them really made me just realize that I have one of the coolest jobs in the world. It's my hope that along the way, we're able to inspire the next generation to do the same.